A group of people, led by old Kiet, had entered a mysterious deep forest. This place was known as the territory of snakes. Snakes were almost everywhere, but the most terrifying thing was the king snake, which weighed tons. It was the largest and most ferocious snake in the world. Yet the group, without any fear, walked straight in to catch the snake. They could not understand what terrible danger was waiting ahead. Looking at the map, the group went even deeper into the forest. They kept going deeper, and very soon a huge snake nest appeared in front of them. Their two companions became very happy. They thought that this trip would be their last chance, so one by one, they started filling their bags with the snakes they found around them. But that joy did not last long. A man named Longhair was carrying large and small bags with a fan, and just then, a huge snake appeared in front of them. Before Longhair could understand anything, the huge snake leaped forward and bit him straight. At the same time, the skinny man could not escape. He was also caught by that monstrous snake. He saw everything happening right before his eyes. But old Kiet did not think twice. He stood there calmly and watched as the king snake swallowed the skinny boy. At this moment, they suddenly felt a strange fear. They quickly packed everything and wanted to leave after finishing the hunt, because an even more terrifying creature had arrived, the king snake of King Badanti. In another direction, another group, led by Bathluang, was on a tour in Thailand, and by mistake, they quickly entered the jungle. They saw that the road ahead was completely blocked, so they were forced to use dynamite to clear the road. They had to set it off. They didn't know that the place where they were planning to explode the dynamite was actually a snake's nest. As soon as the explosion made a huge noise, thousands of snakes flew out and fell onto their boat. Everyone was terrified and tried to run away. The snakes began chasing everyone from all sides. Some people luckily found a safe place and hid, but when they came out, they couldn't escape, and the snakes caught them. Luckily, that foolish guy arrived just in time like a hero and saved the girl, and Tulano was very clever. He washed all the snakes away at once with a pressure pump. Meanwhile, Bod Luang was hiding in the bathroom. Suddenly, he saw a snake on the ceiling. While chasing it, he broke the ceiling wood. With that strike, the snake hole collapsed, and Bod Luang fell straight into the toilet, and then into the river. Trembling with fear, he swam to the shore. He climbed up and took a deep breath. He thought he had saved himself this time. Just then, a snake appeared in front of him with a smiling face. Hello. Luckily, someone arrived to save him at that difficult moment. It turned out to be old Kiet. At that moment, the foolish guy suddenly felt pain. He fell to the ground. He realized that something had entered his ear. Old Kiet quickly pulled the thing out with his own blood. No one knew when a small snake had slipped in and entered his ear. No one even noticed. It was terrifying. Although Kiet was helping them one by one, still, Tulano had some doubts in his mind, because he had seen with his own eyes that a poisonous snake had bitten Kiet and nothing had happened. In the end, if someone was bitten repeatedly by a poisonous snake and remained healthy, it had to be unusual. Thinking of safety, Tulano suggested that Bathluang find a safe place and get on the boat. At night, when the captain was casting bait for fishing, something suddenly pulled the boy in the yellow shirt who was standing by the boat. Then, strange foam was seen rising on the water. It seemed that something very big was hidden under the water. The captain's fishing rod was being pulled straight into the water. As he bent down and tried to grab the rod, it was suddenly dragged under the water. Everyone still couldn't understand what was happening. The sisters' animals suddenly started flying away in fear. That was when Keet realized that a big snake had come. Got quickly pulled out the fishing rod, which surprised everyone. But the snake did not give up easily. It fought with all its strength, with so much force that it pulled Keet into the water in a single tug. Even then, Keet did not give up and held tightly onto the fishing line. At one point, he stabbed the snake. This made the snake very angry. It wrapped itself around Keet and dragged him straight into the water along with the boat. Everyone thought that Keet was dead, but miraculously, he survived and somehow returned to the boat. At this time, everyone was trembling in fear. It turned out that the huge snake was standing right behind them. It let go of the captain, who had already gone cold, and the monk standing beside him was so scared that he almost wet his pants and ran away without thinking. But the huge huge snake refused to leave them. It kept following them, as if ready to swallow them whole with its mouth wide open. In this terrifying moment, Old Keat came running and attacked, which made the snake furious and change its target. Now it wanted to attack Keat, but Keat was no less. With a few tricks, he fooled the snake. Still, the huge snake did not give up. It started moving around the edges of the boat, looking for its prey. Seeing this, everyone was so terrified that no one even dared to breathe properly. Finally, the snake spotted Mr. Nga and the black boy. They ran away in fear. The boy's pants even came loose in his panic, and they ran straight toward Toulon, but the snake did not let go so easily. It jumped, broke the glass door, and rushed inside to bite. Just then, the foolish man appeared with a jar and blocked the door. The snake struggled wildly to get out. Finally, it broke the jar, but it fell right into Keat's trap, which he had already set up with sharp spikes. At that moment, the boat suddenly caught fire. Even if Laoji wanted to, he couldn't stay on the boat anymore. To save themselves, everyone had to jump into the water. They all survived somehow, but the boat, which was their only hope, was completely destroyed. Now, their most urgent task was to leave that place as soon as possible. Then, Laoji said that he had another boat, but it was a 2-day walk from there. If everything went well, everyone could reach it. They could escape from that place. Although Toulon still couldn't fully trust Laoji, they had no other choice, because Ale had been bitten by a snake, and if he wasn't given antibiotics within 48 hours, he could die. Luckily, Laoji had antibiotics on that boat, so everyone was forced to go with him. The group stopped to rest. Just then, the giant snake caught their scent and ran straight toward the boy. Toulon ran to save the foolish boy, but the snake wouldn't let go. Luckily, just in time, Laoji arrived and saved the boy. Everyone gasped and survived, but no one knew that a parasite had secretly entered the zombie's body. At night, the group went inside a cave to rest. At this moment, Old Keat remembered an old incident when he once hid inside a coffin and escaped from the Snake King. The group had found him right where the coffin had fallen into the river. He had been sitting with a map all day. Seeing this, Bat Lung became very curious. Then it was revealed that Old Keat had come to this place to actually catch the largest and most valuable snake in the world. If he captured it, Keat would be able to live off the money for the rest of his life. Bat Lung's eyes sparkled when he heard the word money. He immediately told Keat that he wanted to join him in this task. Keat warned him that the king snake was at the very top of the food chain here. It did not spare even its own kind. Yet Bat Lung was not afraid at all. Instead, he said that this snake was just like him. In fact, Bat Lung had brought the circus team to Thailand with the intention of performing, but his real plan was to earn money by selling everyone. Hearing this, Keat became happy. The next morning, the monk woke up and saw that the zombie was gone, so he ran to look for him. He saw the zombie unconscious and drinking water at the fountain with his face covered. The monk tried to stop him like a madman, but failed. Then he remembered that Keat had said a parasite had entered the zombie's body, something like a praying mantis. When this parasite enters the body, the host searches for water like a madman and then dies. Before they knew it, a huge snake suddenly appeared and dragged the zombie away. The monk helplessly kept watching. Another friend was lost, but now was not the time to be sad. They had to get out quickly. Soon, they reached the edge of a river. If they could not cross it, they would not be able to move forward. But just before they crossed the river, the foolish man felt something moving below. The whole group stopped in fear. A huge shadow slowly appeared under the water. Just when everyone thought they were safe, that terrible snake suddenly jumped at the owner. It tightly wrapped around him. Toulon couldn't stand still. He forgot his fear and ran to help, but he was powerless to do anything. He just watched helplessly as the snake crushed its owner. Now there were only 6 people left in the group. Finally, they reached Keat's boat. Keat kept his word and gave Ali the antibiotics. Everyone thought they would finally be able to return home, but at that moment, Lao, Keat, and Bath Luing betrayed them. They took control of the entire group. Their plan was to use the boy and the fool as bait to lure the Snake King, Anna. With nothing else to do, Ailey tried to use her body to distract him. Old Keto stepped into the trap and cut the rope, but just then, Ailey took the opportunity to counterattack him. Unfortunately, she didn't know how to use a gun, so Keto took control again. Just then, Tooland arrived in time to save them. The two attacked Keto together. At that moment, the huge snake rushed toward the fool again. It opened its mouth and was about to swallow both of them. Just then, another snake appeared and attacked, and the trap was triggered, the one planned by Angar. The trap fell, and the fool and the boy were saved. On the other hand, Tooland and Elle tried, but they were too weak. Just when old Keet was about to finish Elle off, Tooland pushed her away. They both ran to save the others, but suddenly, Keet regained consciousness and calmly approached them. However, at that moment, the huge snake came and dragged Keet away. In the midst of the struggle, Elle was severely injured and died. The others, although heartbroken, hid their pain and ran away. Right then, the fool was shot with a tranquilizer, and it turned out that Keet was not actually dead. He had escaped from the giant snake. Now, the three were captured again to be used as bait. Keet was next to die. Just as he expected, the giant snakes returned, but they all ran away when they sensed the trap. Only one snake remained, and it was eaten by the Snake King. A huge monitor lizard came and blocked the Snake King's path, but the Snake King did not want to delay any longer and came straight to devour the three victims. Old Keet took this opportunity and started his plan, but the Snake King was not so easily fooled and escaped effortlessly. Angry, the Snake King attacked Keet and took out all its fury on him. In this chaos, the boy cut the rope on his hands with his teeth. At that moment, the Snake King ate Keet, and the boy ran away with the other two. They did not waste any time and started running away, but in the middle of the way, the snake bit the fool. Tooland quickly went and saved him. The snake was in pain and let the fool go. The three ran away again, but then the fool's leg got injured. Tooland now used himself as bait and turned the snake away, but he fell into a trap. The king of snakes chased him. Tooland hid inside a hollow tree. He held on tightly to the tree, but the snake wrapped itself around the tree and pulled him down. At this time, the fool brought a branch of a tree and jumped on the snake. Tooland also joined in. Taking the opportunity, the three of them escaped. Tooland had an idea. He lured the snake and led it to the old trap that Keet had set. A rope tightened and flung the snake into the air. Finally, the fight ended. The three survivors escaped by boat, and this is where the movie ends. If you like the video, like and subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to tell us in the comments what kind of movie review you want.